Right now, crews are working to put out that fire at the Raleigh Convention Center. We have video here of the scene from our tower camera. Oh, there it is next to me. This, you can see right now, the fire is out. The smoke is still billowing up into the air, but not nearly as bad as it was before. This fire apparently is knocked down. Brian Schrader's in the live center, staying on top of this. Brian?
Yeah, I want to show you some of that viewer video for our viewers just joining us right now. WRAL News on Fox 50 at 10 o'clock. Within the past hour, we heard the call about a big fire at the Raleigh Convention Center. Immediately turned our tower camera over there, and we saw the flames. As we take a live look at it right now, you can see there's still smoke coming from the top of the convention center. At least the roof of that building was on fire. At this point, we're not sure how much damage there might be inside the convention center. I also want to show you some viewer video from WRAL.com/reported. This is what it looked like there on South Street, or rather Lenore Street, as the flames were very evident on the top of that building. You can see where people had pulled over to get a look at something that is really remarkable to see in downtown Raleigh, the convention center on fire. WRAL's Eric Miller arriving at the scene right now. And Eric, what can you see?
Brian, certainly a very active scene out here. You can see that shimmer wall here, smoke still drifting off the top of the Raleigh Convention Center here. We've seen it coming and going in waves over about the last 10 minutes. Just within the last 5 minutes or so, you see those big ladder trucks out front of this building. We've seen them actually pull their ladders back from the side of the building as that smoke has begun to subside a little bit. Now, at this point, a lot of the area around the convention center itself has been sealed off by both Raleigh police crews, Raleigh fire crews. That includes McDowell, of course, right here in front of the shimmer wall. It's sealed off between Cabarrus and Lenoir. About a block radius completely around this building, also completely, Lenore, around this building completely sealed off. As Brian was noting a little bit earlier, you can see inside part of the convention center here, the lights are on. It doesn't appear that there's any smoke inside the building here. We're still working to learn exactly how severe the damage is to the inside, or if this fire may just be contained to the roof area. But again, smoke is still continuing to pour from the top. It is white. It is not that black, heavy smoke that we were seeing earlier, but it is continuing to drift up the top of this off the top of this building, coming and going in spurts, in surges. If I had to guess, and at this point this is a guess because it is nearly impossible to walk around the entirety of this scene, we have dozens. It is very safe to say we have dozens and dozens of fire crews out here on this scene, Raleigh police officers here as well. At this point, trying to keep growing crowds back who are coming down to look at this, who've seen those flashing lights, who've smelled the smoke, seen the flames, that tower of smoke we were seeing earlier, and have come down trying to figure out what exactly is going on out here in downtown Raleigh. Now, again, very active out here. Fire crews still working to put these flames down. We're going to stay on top of it, let you know what we're seeing out here on this scene as these fire crews continue to work.
Eric, we had some viewers report to us that there was a strong smell of burning plastic in the air. Is that what you're experiencing there?
Gerald, you can definitely smell some of that. It's hard to say exactly what that would be. Almost any fire that you're dealing with in the modern era, you will have some plastic mixed in, and that kind of smell is there to greater or lesser extent. If you know the Raleigh Convention Center, what's up there, what's on top of that roof are solar panels. So it could be some of what we're smelling, some of what other people are smelling is damage to some of those solar panels. Is the panels themselves actually catching on fire or burning? But again, from this vantage point, it's really hard to say exactly what is on fire up on that roof, or exactly where the fire is located within the building here itself. We can confirm, though, there is that smell. I would not describe it, at least at this point in the evening, as being overwhelming or overly strong.
All right, Eric Miller on the ground for us in downtown Raleigh. Eric, thank you. Let's go back to Brian Schrader in the live center. Brian?
Yeah, we talked a little while ago as we began our breaking news coverage with WRAL news reporter, former WRAL news reporter Amanda Lamb. She lives downtown and saw all of this pretty clearly. And Amanda, thank you again for taking some time with us tonight. For our new viewers who are just joining us on WRAL News on Fox 50, tell me how you found out about this and what you saw.
Sure, Brian. Around 9:30, one of my neighbors texted on our group thread. We're up on the hill and we have a really good view looking kind of from the warehouse district into downtown Raleigh. And she said, it looks like the convention center is on fire. And so I immediately, came to my front windows to look out, and it was just this big plume of black smoke billowing out of the top of the building, really just the top. It didn't look like any of the other parts of the building were encompassed, obviously, though I can only see one side, which is where the shimmer wall is. And just a note, the shimmer wall has never turned off. It's been on the entire time. It looked like the smoke was actually coming from 2 points on the roof, 2 separate points, and it was really just billowing in a big trail across the city. It has, in the last, I would say, 15 minutes, really gotten a lot smaller, and it has gotten whiter, which in my experience over many years covering fires, that's usually a good sign. Black smoke is an active fire, and white smoke is kind of the ending of that fire. You can see now from where I am, and I think you also pointed this out on the air, that there appear to be some firefighters on that roof with some lights, because you can see kind of these light beams right now. But when it first started, and again, it was around 9:30 this evening, it was pretty dramatic. And as you know, there are so many buildings right next to it. I mean, the Marriott is right there, and several other buildings it's in close proximity to. So I know that there was a real urgency to get this under control.
Absolutely. As we take a look at those live pictures right now, the smoke really has been reduced to just kind of a wisp there on the top of the building, on the roof of that building. And we can see those flashlights there as it appears as though firefighters are on the roof now checking out the situation. I guess, Amanda, from where you could, your vantage point, it was really impossible to see whether this was any deeper in the building. In other words, was it below the roof?
Yeah, you couldn't see that. I mean, all we do know from this distance, and also from some of your video that I've seen, is that the electricity apparently stayed on the whole time. You know, you've got the shimmer wall. So I think it's safe to say that, it definitely encompassed the roof, but who knows what other parts of the building. But again, they did a great job in getting that out so quickly, because you do have so many buildings around there. And I don't know if there were any activities. It's a very busy building. I do know there was an event there today during the day, so I don't know if there was anybody in the building tonight. But it's a very busy building. They have events all week happening, so this is going to have a big impact on the convention center, and of course probably some of the buildings around it.
And Amanda, we've been here a long time. This is kind of, to people who've been here a long time, this is still the new convention center, even though it's been there a while. It really is a showpiece for downtown Raleigh.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm going to say maybe 0.8 of a mile from there. And I mean, I see it every night. I can see it clearly. I can see it when I wake up in the morning. It is kind of the centerpiece with the beautiful art and the shimmer wall on the side. And especially now with all the holiday lights all around it, you can't miss it. So I do think this is going to be something that, in the next few days, we're going to find out more, obviously, hopefully, about what happened and how much damage occurred and how it will affect, the activities, the packed schedule that they have for the month of December.
And, there has been talk in recent years of, finding a way to expand, renovate, move, or build a new convention center. So it'll be interesting to see what effect tonight's fire has on those discussions as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think at the end of the day, the most important thing, obviously, is that the fire was contained. Hopefully, there were no injuries in that building. Yeah. And again, being in such a downtown area, I know you remember, Brian, we had that apartment fire several years ago. I can't remember the exact date.
2017.
Okay, great. So when you have a fire in the middle of a downtown area where so many people live and work and so many buildings are so close, It's a crisis. It's urgent. You have to get that fire out as quickly as possible to make sure it doesn't spread. And so they really did a good job.
And I'm glad you made that point, Amanda. At this point, we do not know of any injuries with this fire, so that is good news. If you hold on just a second, Amanda, Gerald is in the other studio and he has a question. I'll relay it to you.
Yeah, Brian, you asked Amanda, initially when we saw this fire, it looked as though the fire was coming from two different locations on the roof from opposite sides of the building. Did she notice that as well from her vantage point?
Amanda, he said that from here in the studio, as we were looking at it on the tower camera, it looked like it was maybe burning from two different locations on the roof. That's what you saw, at least from your vantage point, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It looked like these two separate locations, these two big plumes of black smoke coming out from the roof, kind of going in the same direction, obviously the way the wind was blowing them, which was, closer to maybe Union Station, if you will, in the direction of where I live. But it definitely looked like it was coming from two locations on that roof.